Hey guys, this is Hell Hades, free to play. Guys, we're going on the free to play and we're going to be trying to push my clan boss team, making use of this free gear removal. Honestly, for a free to play account or for any account, it's a massive time. We've got 3 days basically to try and get some re-gearing done. I did say in my video yesterday, but as of today, the Hell Hades optimizer, all of the premium stuff is going to be free to use. You just have to have a PC or a Mac and download the program and get involved. I will be using it in this video. I'm also going to be doing a stream with Rats on my main account. Rats is like a plat winner and he wins multiple times. Yeah, so he's going to come and help me on my main account on Friday night stream. And we're going to see if I can get my main account in order for plat reset this Monday. Do I still have what it takes to get into plat? So make sure you come and check that out. So for this video, we're going to be looking at how can I improve my clan boss team? Can I get myself to that 3 key nightmare type of level by actually just starting to move gear that I already own? What I will say here is, you know, I'm already hitting nightmare clan boss, but I'm doing it in a 4 key type of team. So I'm doing somewhere between 9 and 12 million, and it's quite sketchy. One of the reasons it's sketchy is because I haven't got a successful speed tune running. I'm just running clan boss and I'm running people at whatever speeds they've got. And, you know, sometimes debuffs hit me, sometimes the stun hits me, sometimes it doesn't. There will still be a bit of RNG because all of my champions are not fully booked. But I do now have a booked A2 on Sepulchre. This is the important skill. So I am going to get a 4-turn cooldown now on my block debuffs. I needed that really before I started my speed tuning because 5-turn is just too difficult to speed tune. Or it would require me to change the build again quite quickly. So I wanted this done. I've also now started to get some decreased attack enhancement on the A1. And I've also started to get a few extra stats into the passive as well. So Sepulchre's booking situation is much better. I also finished her mastery here to give myself Master Hexer, which will help me as well. So mastery setup is done. It's also important actually to call out on masteries. If you've got masteries already and you're doing this type of speed tune where you've taken arcane celerity or rapid response, if you're speed tuning, you need to get rid of those because they will throw you out. So Sepulchre's going to be in the mix getting a re-gear. Stag Knight is also going to be getting a re-gear. He is booked. Rhonda as well. One of the reasons also that I can turn to a re-gear now is because Grush is in the main squad, which means that we've got leech debuffs coming out. I've got a different way to heal other than just lifesteal gear. Quite an important change on my account, actually. He also brings some healing here. He is completely unbooked, so he's not anywhere near his max, but he's going to give me the opportunity, at least, to start to think about different ways of gearing my team. We're going to keep with the same squad, though. We're still going to have Rhonda in there for my damage. She's got Brimstone, which is very important for me. And we're going to be keeping KO in for our poisons for now. I don't have a better alternative yet. So that's going to be the 5-man squad, but we're going to be changing it up. And what I've done is I've gone over to deadwoodjedi.com and I've picked out a speed tune that can work for me on both Nightmare Clan Boss, but also Ultra Nightmare. And what this is going to do is it's going to enable me to have a scaling team. If I change people out, I can just swap out whoever I need to, but keep their speed the same. So with this one, if you can see this here, basically, this is Clan Boss turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the way it works. It kind of goes left to right. And at the end of each of these, this is the stun turn. So I want to make sure that we've always got block debuffs from Sepulchre for the stun hit. So you see in this speed tune here with Sepulchre running at 240 speed, which is quite high, by the way, we get our block debuffs come up. Initially at the start here, it's going to be coming up before the stun. And then it will fall into sync at turn 4. And from this point onwards, it will stay the same for the rest of the comp. And you'll see here that she always does her block debuffs and increased defense right before AoE 2. Yeah, and that means that we're always going to have the stun covered with block debuffs, the stun covered with increased defense, AoE 2 covered with increased defense, AoE 1, I'm going to take a smack. I can't do much about that with my current team. But this is the type of setup I need to make sure that I don't have to worry about the stun ever again. It means that I will always keep my abilities rolling. Okay, I've then got Stagnite as the other person on a 4-for-3 speed ratio here because I need Stagnite fast for general content anyway. So I figured why not make him another fast 4-for-3 champ. So I've got 2 champions running 4 hits against a clan boss every time he hits 3 times. Everyone else is on what we call a 1-for-1. Every time the clan boss goes, we go as well. What I tend to do is people that can do more damage or have got less requirement of abilities, I pick in the slower rolls. Reason for that is you can punch a damage build up high if they're going slower, or if they don't have as many debuffs to land, then obviously you can deal with that as well. But this is the team that I'm going to build out. So we're going to punch this into the optimizer. Again, as I say, you can get involved, Hell Hades Optimizer. Come to hellhades.com and go to the membership page. Just sign up to be a normal member. You will get all of the premium perks over the next few days whilst we've got the free regearing going on anyway. And if you choose to become a premium member after that, that would be awesome. It helps pay the development team we've got who very much enjoy having paid members. But you can come here, membership sign up, and then you go to the optimizer page, download it for either your Mac or your PC, and you can kind of see what you get from the premium stuff a little bit down below on this page. This is a newly built page by Fix and Saf. I do need to call out as well the team really here because they're so amazing at what they do, but Saf does a lot of the kind of visuals you see here and some of the development. We've got Winston Wolf, who helped build the optimizer to run at 100 miles an hour with better gearing. We've got Teach, who was the original builder of the optimizer, who has continued to develop it and be the kind of head of that team. We've got Fiction, who makes it look pretty like this. And Saf is kind of doing this stuff as well, putting in some guides here in how to use it. I would suggest you come to this part if you're new. I would suggest you come to 9 key builds, this video here, because it really helps you understand how to use the optimizer in different ways. I think this is probably the best video that I've done to kind of work you through how the optimizer works. But basically, if I didn't already have a team in mind, I would go to Team Optimizer and I'd be saying, please show me a team that can beat some sort of content. And what this is doing is it's looking at other users that use the optimizer already and saying, right, what teams do they use? What speeds do they run to be able to do content? On my free-to-play, my account's really not got enough champions to make as good a use of this as other accounts that are perhaps a bit more established. So I feel like it's better to just build my own team out. The way I'm going to do this is just pick out the champions that I'm going to use. So I'm going to unlock everybody. If you want to know how to do this lock-in, by the way, go to the hamburger menu top right and go into account settings and then just say enable advanced locking. The reason why we've got advanced locking here is because you might say, I never want to touch the gear on my lock 5s again. Don't ever try and make me use that gear on another champion. And then you might be like, well, lock 4, that's all my main arena squad. Lock 3's all my main, I don't know, clan boss team, whatever. You can choose what they are for you, but ultimately, when you come to regearing, you can tell the optimizer only include people that don't have a lock, or include people that don't have a lock plus lock 1s plus lock 2s. You can choose what you want it to be. One other quick tip. Sorry, I'm in tip mode here, but I'm going to do it. One other quick tip. If you just want to strip some champions of gear, let's say my High Cartoon here, while it's free, I want to completely remove the gear from High Cartoon. If you throw them in your reserve vault, oh, she's in the tag team arena. Can't do that one. Gembo. If I throw Gembo into my reserve vault and remove the gear, obviously there's no cost to it. He's now naked and in the vault, but all of that gear has now jumped free. So if you just want to do like a big cleanse up, you need gear space to be able to do that, by the way. My main account could never do it, but on my free-to-play, I could probably throw just about anyone in, grab the gear off, and then we're starting again from fresh. But the optimizer's kind of doing that anyway, so doesn't really matter for me. Okay. So Sepulchre's going in as my lead. We've got Stag in there. We've got Rhonda in there. We've got Grush, and we've got Kale. What we're going to do here is we're just going to say, right, what type of mode are we optimizing for? If you've got a straight damage dealer, always optimize for damage mode. If you've got someone who needs to be tanky, you can either go survival mode, which will give you effective HP. That's looking at a good blend of defense and health. Or you can go balance mode. I tend to prefer balance mode personally. I just feel like I've got more control over it, but kind of choose what you want to do. They're all in there to help you. The default is quick mode. That's going to be the worst result you can get, but it's for the absolute novice of the optimizer that doesn't really follow a video of how to use it, I would say. So I know from my Deadwood Jedi page, Sepulchre needs to be at 240. If you've got one of these speed tunes, you can actually just move speeds up and say, right, at what point does this break? See, it changed when I went from 247 to 248. See that? Things just slightly went out of sync, but we've actually got quite a lot of flex. So all I need is a minimum of 240 and she will be good. So minimum 240. What I would say with the stats page here, less is more. Don't be like minimum this, minimum this, minimum this, maximum this. It doesn't need it, okay? It doesn't need it. The absolute essential stats you put your minimums in for. So speed and accuracy for me are essential. Other than that, on a Sepulchre, I just want survivability, health, and defense. She's likely to take the stun hits, which means I want more defense than health. That's all I'm going to put in. I don't want to do anything else to it. I can tell it if I want to put a set in here. I do need Sepulchre to heal, but I also don't think I'm going to get to a really high speed in random sets. So for now, I'm just going to leave it as is. I can also tell it if I've got glyphs. So I can be like, right, basic glyphs. I know that I can add at least 1 speed to anything. I know that I can add, at least kind of like 3 accuracy to any piece that I've got, just based on the amount of glyphs I've got sitting around. Yeah, just stuff that I've saved over the last while doing all of my faction war stuff. So it's always worth putting glyphs in because it might find you different pieces if you do that. Stag Knight, again, we want to go for balance mode. I need to get to... What do I need here on his one? 239 speed. I need accuracy to do stuff, not just in Clan Boss, but in general. So I'm going to go 230 accuracy. And then we're just going to say, give me health. Don't care so much about defense on him. I would like it. I would like crit rate, honestly, but for someone that fast on my account right now, with that much accuracy, I don't think I'm going to get there. So we're going to leave it as that. Glyphs, again, I'm just going to put the basic ones in. Champion 3 is Rhonda. Now, Rhonda I want to turn into a damage build. Okay, I want her to hit hard as much as possible. We want to run Rhonda at 186 speed. Again, I can just have a quick check. What happens if I go higher on speed? So when I go to 192, it changes. And if I go to 185 below, it changes. So 186 is the minimum. Just good to know at what point it changes so that you can make decisions based on what the results come out as. We want crit rate. I do need accuracy actually on my Rhonda, but a minimal amount to land it on Clan Boss. She's got Brimstone, that's why, since I did those changes. And I probably want to tell it, really, give me at least 35k health. Yeah, I don't want to be totally squishy, but I am going to push in for a damage build. I could probably do with, as well, honestly, a minimum of 2.5k defense for this level of Clan Boss. Grush then. Grush is a defensive champion. I'm going to go damage mode on Grush. I do want Grush to be running in Relentless gear. Now, I'm just wondering on Rhonda, because I use Rhonda in a lot of other content, I probably actually do want her in Lifesteal. So if you go into sets, you can choose if you just want a specific set, like I want here, Lifesteal on my Rhonda. I can choose it here. Yeah. I can also just, if I just want to eliminate one set, let's say I don't want someone in Savage, I can just click the icon for Savage. Where is it? And it won't choose Savage, yeah? So that's grayed it out. It won't be choosing Savage. So if you particularly wanted like a choice of, I don't know, 4 sets, then you could actually do it by graying out the other icons. So I could say, Lifesteal. That's probably it, really. Stats, we've done. Glyphs, I'm just going to throw in. And then onto Grush. Yeah, so Grush, we're going to go for a damage build. I'm actually going to go for Relentless gear because I've got good Relentless gear for perhaps one champion. And I do want him to cycle through the chance to cycle through that leech ability as often as possible. Leech is actually going to be big for me here. Plus, he's not booked, so I want him to get through his abilities as quick as he can. In terms of the battle, the mode, we've done damage. Stats, I need 179. He has got a really specific speed here. If I go either one speed higher than 179, it fails. So on him, I can actually say 179 to 179. I don't want you to change that at all, please, optimizer. Do need accuracy. 70. And then we're going for damage. Sets. Chosen relentless. Glyphs we're going to do. And then Kale. Kale, we're going to go for a damage build as well. I could go for something like... I think I'm going to leave it random. But I've got quite good Guardian gear. Guardian gear doesn't really work with a Kale. I could also say, you know what, Kale, I don't want you to be built for damage. I actually just want you to live so that your poisons last a long time. It might be similar really with Rhonda, but perhaps with Kale now being my clan boss build, maybe we don't go damage. Maybe we just go for a decent amount of survivability here. So let's get our accuracy to a good level. I need him to be able to beat up Dragon 20, so we're going to go 200. Let's give us 180 speed. Just wondering what gear set. I probably still need him in lifesteal gear, honestly. Even though I've got healing here, for other stuff that he does, I think I still need him in lifesteal. We're going to punch that in. You know, things like Dragon. I'm just thinking Dragon 20. He has to stay alive for that. So, lifesteal gear for him. Okay. Hit the optimize. Stat priority for Kale. It will give you a little prompt if something's not right. So, because I've gone balance now, it's saying, you know, tell us what you want. Want a bit of this, bit of this. You can then say in what order do you want people to be built. So I always try and put my fastest people towards the top, so I know they're going to be the hardest ones to find gear for. Make sure they get the kind of premium side of the gear, and hit start, and it will start to just look through your gear, find you best builds, and it's going to kick back here. Did we find builds for everybody? So I don't have a build right now for who? Grush or for Sepulchre. So Sepulchre, I wasn't able to get to the stats I wanted. I can just go back, have a little look and see what I was looking for. 240, 180 accuracy. Let's just take those off a sec. Accuracy go down 10. See if I can make that happen. And Grush didn't happen in Relentless Gear, which is a bit weird. Probably because I put the min and the max in. So we're going to take the max out and see what it pops out. Let's try that again. Sepulchre, stat priority, defense. So sometimes, if it doesn't work first time, just tweak it. There's just small tweaks that you need to do. Still struggling to find Sepulchre's build. We've now got Grush's build in, which is good. So if, like you've just seen there, I'm struggling to get to certain speeds, which is basically what it is. It's not finding enough speed for my Sepulchre. What you can do is you can just start to filter out items that have got speed substats. So first thing I'm going to do is look at chests. Do I have HP or defense percent chests that have got a speed substat in gear sets that make some sense? Yeah, so I've got a really good one here in defined speed. It's probably behind me right now. Just making sure that we're giving the optimizer as many options as possible. And because I'm asking for a couple of quick builds, it's struggling to find two, basically. It's struggling to find both one for Stagnite and one for Sepulchre at the same time. So it's not too much else there. Let's just see if we've got any other speed substat rolls in pieces of gear that are worth having a look at. Mainly things like perception gear or speed set items. Got a bit of silver in the bank to do this. Annoyingly, I'm not rolling speed there. So this could be a good piece. Speed plus accuracy together when I'm trying to build someone needs both of those things. Worth taking it up to 12. Again, though, it's not rolling extra speed. Bad. If we roll speed on the first one. Didn't, so leave that one. just giving the optimizer a few more pieces to work with, really. Sometimes even in offsets like this, I mean, I'm not going to regret rolling it anyway because bolster set's really good, but sometimes you might find in an offset, if you like triple roll speed there, it might give the optimizer something else to work with. Rolled quite a lot of speed, so let's just take that one up. You see I've blown like 1 million silver already just doing that. This is a good piece. We're going to grab this one up. 12 to max. More crit rate on it. Okay, let's try rerunning now. Same thing. In fact, one other thing to check is champions that you need fast, like a Sepulchre or a Stag. Do you have any improvements now in your accessories? So do I have anything here with speed on it that might do a job? Ideally with accuracy main stat for someone like a Sepulchre or a Stag, but again, I'm just giving the optimizer different items to look at, because what the optimizer will do well is it will say, well, you know what, you've got an accuracy chest and you've got a defense banner. Why don't you go the other way around? Don't always just go accuracy banner. If you've got accuracy somewhere else, it's going to find you a way to kind of make that stuff work. So a piece like this, for example, or a piece like this might end up being the way that someone like Stag Knight gets his piece. So take that one up to 8 as well. So once you've made those changes in game, hit live refresh and it will just find, it will just update basically. It will update the gear that you've just rolled up. Optimize again, hit the search, and now hopefully I've given it enough new options to be able to find the gear I need for these builds. So as you see, there's quite a bit of tweaking going on here, but yeah, I mean, it looks, so we've now found the builds. Now, what it's saying here is, Sepulchre, yeah, this build's going to work, but bear in mind, some of these items are level 12. You'd have to roll those up to max to end up getting the new level of stats. But we've got here a 240 speed Sepulchre with 170 accuracy, with 3k defense, 36k health. It's not bad. The gloves are flat stat gloves, yeah, which normally would be crap. We know that. But sometimes in these early game accounts, you've got to take what you can get to get a speed tune going, knowing that you're going to improve it later on. Stag Knight's come back with an accuracy chest. Yeah, so he's actually using an accuracy chest to get to his stats that he needs. What we got here, 52k health, 1.8k defense, 240 speed, 238 accuracy. That's good. We've got Rhonda in lifesteal gear, 170 odd accuracy. So we've got 100% crit rate out of her now, and still some survivability. I like it. Grush in relentless gear, up to 100% crit rate now. A little bit less defense, but with his accuracy to land stuff. And then Kale, basically, we're moving to more of a defensive build with Kale. Still got the 100% crit rate in there. I could take that out, honestly, and just give us a better kind of mix of defense, because defense is still quite a low number here. But I could switch these crit rate gloves for defense gloves and get to a better survivability mode. I might do that anyway. But you can see we've got some builds, so let's build them out. Okay, let's look at final builds. As I say, there's improvements that can be made because we've still got stuff like flat stat going on. Some of my stuff's not level 16. I don't have enough silver to do that, and I don't want to waste too much silver right now. But basically, we've got here a Sepulchre on nearly 3k defense, 241 speed, which is fine, enough accuracy. We got ourselves a Stag, who I managed to put a bit of crit rate into his builds. He does hit quite hard on his A1. Good health, some defense, the right speed, enough accuracy. Rhonda, lifesteal gear, 186 speed, 100% crit rate, some damage, enough accuracy for Brimstone. Kale, lifesteal gear, 184 speed, enough accuracy and defensive stats. And then Grush, relentless gear, just as because I could, 179 speed, enough crit rate if I build all of his stuff up, but I don't have enough silver right now. Some defensive stats, enough accuracy. And in terms of masteries, everyone has got either support masteries and offense with War Master, or support with defense like a Rhonda here. But basically, nobody's got any turn meter enhancing masteries on. So let's try this out. So I'm just going to set up in Clan Boss here, make sure that we always do the right skills. So Sepulchre, A2 when possible. Grush, don't use your A2. I've already got decreased attack covered, and honestly, I want the leech up as often as possible, so we're going to keep him doing his A1. Kale, don't use your A2. Rhonda, don't use your A3. Stag, use your A2 whenever you can. So that's going to be it. Starting auto, but I'm actually going to manual the start here. I'm going to manual Sepulchre to A1 3 times. And then we can go full auto from there. So A1 the first time. Hopefully we can get Brimstone as often as possible. A1 the second time. As soon as I've done it 3 times, it's then full auto, and she will always land her ability to do block debuffs in the right place. A1 third time. Full auto from there. So we're going to let it roll, see what sort of damage we do. Comment below how much you think we're going to do. I'm hoping for around 13 million, because that will give me my 3 key kind of nightmare territory and also give me something to build on. But the only thing that would stop me getting there, I think, is if we don't land leech enough. But anyway, let's let this roll. Well, my Grush has gone down, which means I'm going down, honestly, because Grush has got my leech, which is the ability to heal. So it's not the massive gain that I wanted. It's still a gain for sure, because we're now kind of pumping up towards 12 million. This is pumping up towards the best my team would have done before. I just need a bit more survivability, honestly, in a couple of these dudes. 12.2-ish, 12.1 mil. I need about another million in the bank. But we're making progress. Maybe once I've leveled everyone to full in terms of their gear, that goes up again. But definitely moving in the right direction. There you go, guys. Happy free re-gearing time. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.